Okay, hope you guys learned from my mistake. So, reviewing a lot of videos, they show how you should tape your last. So you can actually have it create a design. Well, this one doesn't have a design, and I actually designed one, and I'm working on, and so I actually put it together, and lo and behold, it didn't come out right. I actually cut it, and then I had to undo it. Making shoes is not easy, especially if you have to design, and if you didn't take any classes, but hopefully you don't have to make the same mistake. See the stitching right there. So I cut out, I had taped it, untaped it. I actually did pretty much everything that I saw in video, and there's the tongue, and I made extra allowances so that when you sew things, so this is actually the shoe that I'm copying, sorta, sorta. So as you can see here, this is where the that's where the tongue. I don't know what this is called. Maybe you guys can tell me what it is. And then this is sewn here, and then this is sewn here, and then this backing is sewn here. So this piece here is this piece, and then I cut it out, and thinking, oh well, I got about 3/8 of an inch, and boom, did that. And then I cut this. So where is it? Where's my tape? Oh, what I did is I actually took it out, but I traced the where I took the tape out and I laid it out, and then I gave more space. And then there's this one. I actually folded it in half so it'll be symmetrical. So the problem that I made, so if you look here, that's that size right there. It's right there. And that's the back side. And then this is right here. Oh, other way around. It goes like this. It goes like that. So I cut it thinking it would be perfect. Oh, here's the other piece. I said, okay. So I folded this in half. I said, perfect. But the problem is, what they don't show you on a lot of these videos is that if you're sewing it here, this part right here, you shouldn't have any allowance, because you're actually going to sew it onto here. So it'll come out really funky. So you're going to have extra. So that's why if you're going to sew it here, see how I have this one here has an allowance, this 1/4 inch, and then there's an allowance there. But in reality, you shouldn't have that allowance. So you should actually, I'm going to cut this off, because that's where I'm going to, right here, where's my little pointer here. because this part here, there is no allowance. As you can see, I made an allowance here. So what needs to happen is I need to cut this part out, that part, that part, that part, all the way to here. This should actually get cut out here. And then I need to make little holes to mark it. And then I need to actually put it here and match it, because this has got extra. So I can actually do it here and then mark this one here. That's why you see a lot of these shoemakers, you see those little holes. That's actually where you put, that's the guide where to sew. So you got to be careful. So this one here, the front, has this extra bit, but it's not necessary here, because it's not gonna come out right. So that's a mistake that I made here. That's why I had to cut it out. See, I had this just lays on top, and I had too much material. So I have too much material here. No, actually, I take that back. I have too much material here. This is where I had too much material. If you look here, I just folded this in half. I had too much material here, so I need to cut this so that it actually, since this one here goes right there, and this goes somewhere like that, and it'll get sewn there. So yeah, so be careful when you make your patterns. Just kind of like, just think if this thing's an edge right here, you don't give it any extra material. Here you don't give it any. You could, I guess, if you're gonna sew it like this piping right here, then it's actually okay. But the way I design it, this is gonna overlap, so I'm probably just gonna cut it off right here and then have the piping there. So then, yeah, so that's one of the pitfalls. So we'll see you in the next video.